Pink ladies, T-birds, just happen to be watchers of my shit. My name is JImmiPynk, and I'm a little crowded right now. Terrible tongue pop. Roll it. So, Pink ladies, T-birds. I'm going to be busy after Tuesday. I'm going to give y'all Camp Wanakiki. I got some other things planned for you. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you already know what those things are. But over the past few days, while I've been at work, because I haven't been excruciatingly busy like I have been the past few weeks there, I decided to join Rotten Tomatoes. I'm getting to the point, I promise. I decided to join Rotten Tomatoes because something that I want to incorporate into the channel, and I've told you guys after September 1st there's going to be a lot of changes, and if you have been following me, you know I'm going to be starting to do a lot of movie reviews. But I've always been interested in it. I've always been interested in film. I took film study courses. I wanted to be an editor originally as my profession. Like, that's what I went to school to do. So I decided to look up Insatiable because I just couldn't believe that so many critics did not like this show. So I look at Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what it is right now this day, but on this particular day, the critic score was 15%. The audience score was 85%. So I decided to see what the critics said, and then I decided to see what some of the viewers said. One of the big things that I noticed that all the critics said about Insatiable, I'm sorry if I said insecure to begin with. I'm very tired. I've been operating on 4 hours of sleep for a while, and after tomorrow, y'all are not going to see me for about 4 days at all. But I kept seeing this on both sides of the table, and it was the word satire. Okay. I should have been more prepared than this, but as you can see, a bitch been busy. You can see this shit. But I want to look up what a satire is, because in my opinion, at any point, and I don't believe so, correct me if I'm wrong in my own review, at any point that I say this was a satire. Now y'all know I'm a little nerdy. I also used to be an English major. So I may misspeak sometimes, and I get on here and be ratchet as fuck some days because I fucking can. But don't you ever get it fucked up that I have a very large vocabulary and I know what a lot of shit, especially literary terms. But I'm going to go to the actual definition for you. A satire is the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. I see why people are thinking this is a satire. It is not. Okay? We're using humor because it's a dark comedy. We're pointing out some shit. Everybody's seen the trailer and wants to say fat shaming. That's actually not what's being pointed out. What's being pointed out is her insides, because we come later into the series and find out she's always been self-centered and not a very good friend to Noni. But she has her issues. And again, for the most part, with the exception of Noni and maybe Choi and D, that little click right there, everybody on the show is fucked up. But it's not a satire, because it's not really trying to say anything. Sure, after the trailer dropped and everybody got on their social justice warrior unicorns and put on their snow boots because they all snowflakes, they have to say, no, we're saying something more important, because that's called damage control. That's called PR. Excuse me, public relations if you slow. But that's not what this show is. That's not what this show ever intended to be. What this TV show is a farce. So let me go ahead and look that up for you, because I'm giving you specific definitions so you can't say I got it wrong. I'm giving you the actual definitions. Farce. A comic dramatic work using buffoonery and horseplay, and typically including crude characterizations and ludicrously improbable situations. There's also another definition that I want to give you, which is from Wikipedia. In theater, a farce is a comedy that aims at entertaining the audience through situations that are highly exaggerated, extravagant, and thus improbable. I'll give you another definition of farce. A light humorous play in which the plot depends upon a skillfully exploited situation rather than upon the development of character. I'll wait. Look it up yourself. Google it. Rewind this back. Listen to what I said again. Because I want you to understand that Insatiable is not a satire. It's a farce. Some of the reviews talked about how despicable the character is and there was no character growth. It's not a satire. It's a farce. This is some of the most ridiculous stuff. This is stuff that would not even happen. It's not a satire. It's a farce. It's not trying to say anything. And if it is trying to say anything, it failed. I'll give you that. If they actually went into the intentions of this being a satire, they failed. If they went into this being a farce, they succeeded beyond expectation. The problem is we don't see a lot of farce anymore. So for the younger people, which this show is targeted to, millennials, social justice warriors, everything is about me, me, me. It has to be a satire. The show can't exist unless it's trying to say something. It has to have some kind of message. It doesn't. You want to know what show is a farce? The last real show that was a farce on television? Bueller? Seinfeld is a farce. There's no character development. They're all fucking despicable people, but everybody praised Seinfeld. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Seinfeld. I am a huge fan of Julie Louis-Dreyfus, as well as Jason Alexander. I give a fuck about Jerry Seinfeld and fuck Michael Richards with a big dick. No. Fucking with a big dick so it hurt. A dirty, crooked, diseased one. But that's what Insatiable is. It's just darker, it's raunchier because it's on Netflix. But it is just an overblown farce. I will tell you a movie that is one of my favorite farces. Clue. If you don't know about Clue, I'm going to need you to get on that immediately. Clue is the best movie that is a farce that I have ever seen. Now, I want you to understand there are other movies that are farcical. A lot of Mel Brooks movies are farcical. But those are satires, and a lot of them are also parodies. This ain't trying to say shit. This is just a straight up farce. This is ridiculous situations for your entertainment to laugh at. To shock you a little bit, but to laugh at. It's not supposed to be relatable. You're not supposed to relate to any of the characters. Now, as somebody that is plus size and has always been bigger, even when I was in shape, when everybody else was running around a size 5'6", when I was in shape, I was a size 9'10". No fat on my body like a goddamn Coke bottle, but I was still bigger than everybody else. And still, yes, got made fun of for that, even though I was in the tip-top shape I've ever been in my life. But I was still bigger than everybody else because we now know through science and research and open information that those nice little things that say this is how much you should weigh for your height and your age, is bullshit. You can't tell, just like you can't tell somebody, well, you know, for your race and your determination, your eyes really should be green. It's the same shit. At my optimum shape where I was healthy, I was a size 9-10, and when I started losing more than that, I started looking like a skeleton. That's where I was supposed to be at that time. I believe now I should be a size 14, which I am. I just ain't supposed to be this motherfucking blubbery. But I feel like I'm my optimum size. I'm not out of shape. As far as I'm way bigger than what my frame can hold. I don't have back, well, because my boobs I do sometimes. Well, I have rheumatoid arthritis too. But I don't have back problems. I don't have knee problems. None of that is based on weight. None of it. When I go to the doctor, they always say, you weigh more than what you actually look like. And I'm on camera and I sit down and y'all see my fat rolls. If y'all see me in real life, you would be like, I didn't even know. I thought you would be bigger than that. I'm not. Because this is what size I'm supposed to be. I say that to say this. Even the fact that the girl was fat and the way she lost the weight was not because she was trying to starve herself. Not because she was trying to fit in with society. Because she punched a guy over a chocolate bar, broke his nose. The homeless guy punched her back and broke her jaw, and it was wired, and she was on an all-liquid diet for 3 months. She was never looking to fit in and be thin. It happened. And as you can see, because she wasn't trying for that, her psyche was fucked up. I guess you could say that, but no, that is a situation as part of the farce. Has she not got small and punched the guy and got sued, she wouldn't have met the dude that did pageants that was already disgraced. Now I want to take you on and have you do pageants. Let me tell you about somebody that's big who got thin and started getting more attention from guys, which, spoiler alert, I got more attention than got from guys when I was at my biggest than when I was at my smallest, because when I was at my biggest, guys thought my self-esteem was fucked up and they could fuck easily. They couldn't. When I was at my smallest, no guys tried to talk to me except for the ones that I already knew that, oh, now you're hot and fuck you. But, it's a situation that led to a bunch of other situations. And again, I'm going to point you to Clue. I'm going to point you to Seinfeld. I'm going to point you to Noises Off if you have it. It's actually a play, but they did do a movie of it back in the day with John Ritter and the dude from Perfect Strangers, not Balky, the other one, and a bunch of other actors. Mary Lou Henner, I think. It's a farce. Where the critics are at is in this day and age of 2018, and where I always keep comparing this to Heathers, and where Heathers failed is because Heathers was actually trying to say something. This is not, and if you read something into it, good for you, but that ain't what they was fucking aiming for. Oh, at all. So where everybody is saying this is all over the place, it's sloppy writing, shit is happening everywhere, this and this and this and this, it's very rare that a television show is a farce, because usually it's a play. Usually it's a film, because usually everything has to be resolved at the end of 2 hours. But because this is a television show, it can't be resolved until the series ends. Again, I want to remind you that the critics gave it 15%. Everything don't got to say something. Everything doesn't have to have a message. And everybody ain't got to be so goddamn sensitive. The shit's funny. Period. Now that you know this, if you happen to stumble across this video, go back and watch Insatiable, and don't try to read nothing into it, and just watch it. I think you'll have a better time with it. I didn't say that in my original review because it took for me to go to Rotten Tomatoes and read these reviews, and every other one was saying satire, or it's trying to be smarter than what it is. No, it's not. It's a fucking farce. It's trying to fucking entertain you and make you laugh. I'm gonna wrap this up because I still got shit to do, and I gotta be at work tomorrow. Can't Want to Kiki tomorrow. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of something before the rollout after Labor Day. It'll probably be when you get your next video because I'll be a little bit more settled then and y'all see it. So thank you, patrons, people that donate to my PayPal, Pink Ladies and T-Birds. If you're not a Pink Lady or T-Bird, subscribe. It's that easy. Keep it greasy. I did that all the way backward. That's how you know I'm tired. Keep it greasy. Deuces.
Kamehameha attack is blazing, I'm so amazing. Japanimation, the anime on your cartoon station. So fulfilling, no adults swimming for about an hour. Revealing power, unorthodox amongst these cowards. Full transformation for Optimus Prime transformation. A good vibration from